you realize that you can die any day. Like all Ukrainians, they realize that life can change like this. So, and now because I was so close to death, I was so close to end of my life. So now I'm not afraid anymore. New qualities of me. I became really stronger, even though I had to die in some kind of way. But also I became so much stronger, and I really have what to give to people. And now I want to give, you know.
There's a wonderful quote that says, "Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans." I think it's from John Lennon. And yeah, it's like life is like this. So you make plans and something happens and everything changes. And my wonderful guest today, she can tell a lot of stories about it because she came from Ukraine in March this year. And she tells her story, how she decided to leave her home country and how she really had hard times, and now she found a new perspective to change some things in her life and be inspiration for other people. So I'm very, very happy to do this now in English because she speaks English fluently, and I'm happy to share her story with the world. So this is Anna Zvarych. Thank you so much for being here. Hey Anna, it's so wonderful to have you here in my studio and also in my life. So tell people, what was your journey from Kiev in March? You came in March. And what was your time since then?
You just told that we need napkins not to cry. This, of course, when I remember about these days, I want to cry. And first of all, want to thank you for helping me, that you found a nice house and nice family with warm hearts for me, and that you helped and supported every my step, and it was really, really very important for me, especially at that days when I was, adult businesswoman who had her project, who had her real estate, and her dream was really completed, because like I always wanted to have passive income in my life and do for a living what I really want to do, not for making money but for fun, for mission. I wanted to work hard all my life, and then after 40 I wanted to, do what I really want, what I never had time for, and to enjoy life. And when I really reached this, my dream, my aim, my plan, my goal, the war appeared in my life, and everything, all my projects, all my real estate, in one moment it became frozen. It became nothing, and all your dreams that you could already touch it, and then it just were taken by someone, and that was very painful. And for me, the most terrible thing was that it looked like I need to start my life from the very beginning.
Because in the very early beginning of the war, you already went with your mom and your daughter and the small dog. And because you said, well, we are leaving, but we're not leaving Ukraine so far. We are just going on the countryside and wait what happened.
Yes.
And then you realized, well, it's going to be worse. And then you tried to make your way to Germany. And what was the way? Because once a friend of mine asked me, could you give home to one wonderful lady? So I immediately said yes, because I really felt the need to help. So that was my immediate yes. Well, we welcome you, but we didn't know that you come with your mom and your daughter and your dog, because yeah, that was not really clear at the beginning. But you had your journey from Ukraine through Poland and all the countries. So maybe you tell the people about this.
Yeah, first of all, we like no one really believed that it would be a real big war, and we all hoped that it would be like 3 days and it will be finished. Like, okay, 1 week and it will be finished, 2 weeks and it will be finished. And actually, when we realized that with every day it goes worse and worse, and I just realized that we need to leave, because in the village where we stayed, there were these military airplanes, and we heard all that sounds of weapons, of bombing, and we heard it. It's just on the opposite side of a field, and you can in the evenings or at night you can see red sky because of fires and all these sounds, and and you're not protected because it's just small village, and when you have a child, and also I had my friend with her child, and only women and 2 kids and little dog, and that's how we decided that it's time to move. And first we went to the western part of Ukraine, and we stayed about 5 days there, because we hoped that, okay, it will be finished soon. But when we got Syrians even there, then we realized that, okay, it's time to leave. Otherwise, whatever happens and we cannot leave, and maybe borders would be closed, we didn't know. So, and of course, when you have child, you don't really think much. And it took me a long time to move to Germany, and actually you were for me like an angel from Facebook that I never met, but I just felt that, first of all, I didn't have choice. Second, just I trusted universe that it's important. And it took me a while to get, because that was my first time in my life when I drove so much, because usually I drive like every person, like to the office, from the office to the shop, and here I drove through all Ukraine, and then 1,500 kilometers in Europe, and I had to stop somewhere to sleep, to relax, because it was such a big responsibility. And also, don't forget that I was under the stress, reading news all the time, and all like your life became like upside down. So, and for me, that was the most the best thing what I met at that moment. It's how people in Europe met us, in every country, in every city. They suggested tea, sandwiches, they suggested free nights, like in the hotel in Vienna we stayed for 5 nights for free, and it was such an open and nice and warming atmosphere, and that's what really helped a lot, because we felt that we were pushed out of our homes, but we were such welcomed in Europe. And also for me it was such a paradise that I met like the family that you organized for me. It was a family with the same values, with the same interests. They speak English, and they read the same books, and they love astrology and psychology. They are open. They have open mindset, and they believe in universe, and they have the same values that I have, and I wasn't strange for them, and for me it was like, wow, like it's like if you believe in soul families, so it's like soul families for me. So if I can say that the best atmosphere I could get, that was that family for sure.
Wow. And then, you came here and you were on one side desperate, on the others like you were welcomed. So what was your feelings? You thought maybe it's about 1 or 2 months and then you go back home, but it wasn't that way.
Yes, and especially that it was first time in my life when I actually stayed alone, because my mom then moved to another place and my daughter moved to another place, and I stayed alone myself first time in my life, and I'm the person which always tries to help someone, and actually I realized here that I never had time for really myself when I do what I like, when I have time to think what are my desires, what are my aims, what are my goals, because like I always wanted to do something for my jobs, for my business, for my daughter, for my parents, for someone, and I was running like a squirrel, and doing all that things, and also you always need to be successful, because you're dependent on external world and what people say and what is good for people, and it's like you're running, and then finally my marathon was finished and I'm stuck in Germany, and my life is closed, my previous life is closed, my future not clear, and like I had to meet my reality, and that family, because I was very depressed, believe me, I was crying from the morning till night, and in one moment they told me like, can you imagine in 1 year you will be glad that all that happened? And I looked at them like, are you crazy? What are you talking? What are they talking? They looked normal people. How can they say that?
It's insane.
You know what I mean? But it's so funny because like in 6 months I already was like that phrase, that question was set in my mind, and sometimes I came back to that and I like, oh, actually, probably I'm on the way to there, and with every month I really understand that everything has reason, and war and all these situations, they all have bad sides, of course, but it always have good sides. And war and this crisis, they really help to understand many things about yourself and to find yourself true. And you develop yourself and go out of this situation as a winner, or you are lost. And also I like the expression that we start to grow after we touch the bottom. So when we touch the bottom, we can, push our feet and we can jump. So for me, that moment was my bottom, for sure. And that was another question from this family. They told me, what are your dreams? Maybe now, when you don't have any job, you don't have any friends, you don't have any family, but you have yourself. And if you are woke up in the morning, it means that God has reason for you.
You've got another day, and you can try to make the best out of it.
And maybe God and universe expect something from you. Maybe you are needed. Maybe your mission it's not done.
I remember the first thing we talked about it because you said you would like to be a model in Ukraine, but it's not usual when you're older than 20. And then I have a friend, she is a photographer, and then we said, well, we are setting a shooting for you. Do you still think about modeling because you already had one job and now you're going into another direction with your coaching business? But is it still something you'd like to keep on doing?
You know, I understood that this modeling thing is it's very good step, but I also realized that more pleasure I get when I influence people's life. So I think that modeling and developing leads to, you know, because I like, okay, modeling is something like simple, you know? You just need to sit, to look nice, to smile. But I always wanted something deeper. And this my psychology and theta healing and now tarot that I'm doing, it's something that I did for some time before, but I always made it as a hobby. You know, it was my hobby and it was my mission. I did it for free because I had my income and I wanted to pay back universe to, you know, to do, like, I get money from other sources so I can give something, and I always was some kind of giver. And I also realized that you know, with all my baggage of knowledges, with all my way that I came, because I built several businesses in my life from zero and without any help. And from different moments of my life, I have something that I can be more helpful for people, for universe, than just, you know, modeling. But I think, like, if there is a possibility, of course, like, I'm woman and I love it. And I'm very happy that I got, you know, in the immediately, like in first months, I got that opportunity to try it. And even though I'm older than 40, so, but for me also, I had several more dreams, and in my professional way, I wanted to promote myself as psychologist, as theta healer, but I never allowed myself because, like, you know, it's very easy to promote your business or some of products or services, but not yourself, because you are somewhere hiding and okay, here it is, buy this, but not me. So, and it's a very big and important step of self-developing for me, for my growing, because to promote yourself as a professional, you need to build this self-confidence, not only in your knowledges and things that you can help people and do for people, that's I know, but to open yourself to the world, to start your social media, to start promoting yourself, it's completely different story, you know? And that's what I'm doing now, and it makes my wings to open, and like I keep this question, like, what are your dreams? What are your dreams? What are you doing? You know, because when you have war in your life, you realize that you can die any day. Like all Ukrainians, they realize that life can change like this. No one actually expected it would be like this. And when you see that it can be finished any moment, you appreciate it better. Unfortunately, it would be better if we appreciate it with good things, but mostly people appreciate when something bad happens. So, and for me, actually, this war helped to rebuild my relations with my mother, with my father, with my mom, we spent some time together during our evacuation process.
Yeah.
And several nights we were just sitting in the kitchen and we were crying a lot, telling, she told her offense, I told my offense from what I was keeping inside of me all my life and never could tell that. So, and we were crying and sitting, and you know, we forgave each other.
Yeah.
And we move on. And right now we build new kinds of relations. And if she comes back to that, I'm like, I don't play that game. We discussed with you, you know. So it's new life for my relations with parents, new life with my relations with friends, new life with relations with myself.
Yeah, with yourself. That's what I would say. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, and then you Theta healing you did already before in Ukraine, and now you discovered like tarot cards. Would you tell me something about this?
Tarot is, you know, it's always attracted me from childhood. I saw tarot, and then for me it was like something magical, you know. And several times in my life, when I had difficult moments, I had someone who knows tarot, and I remember that it helped so much. So I really appreciated that, because sometimes you need to hear like support from universe, or to see that this is not the end of the life, this is not the end of the world. Life will definitely go on, you know, and sometimes you just need to know it, you just need to hear it. So, and I tried to know it, to learn it, but it never opened for me. So I bought webinars, I bought books, but I opened and I didn't understand anything, and I just closed. And also I was a little bit scared to learn it, because like many people think that it's like bad magic, or it's something not very Christian or whatever. So different prejudice. And I was the same.
But you went to people who could do tarot, but nevertheless you had your prejudice. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, you know, like you go, you ask, but think you don't,
Okay.
you know, like you're not sure. Like,
But what was the moment that you decided, well, I buy me the cards and I learn it now?
it was here in Germany when I got so much depressed, and my friends were coming to visit. They were like in Europe as well, and I told like, and they asked like, what do you want us to bring you? And I told like tarot cards, because like okay, if I die, I would never try it, but I don't know, I just felt that I need them in my life. I don't know why. It just came, and when they brought it for me, and I was looking at them, and you know, I felt some connections, and then it's very funny story, because I wrote to I knew that one very famous astrologist and tarologist, very famous woman, started the course, but it was very expensive. And I asked her like if she has any discounts for Ukrainians. And you know what she did? She told that I don't have any discounts, but I can make a gift for you. I can present you the whole course, but from last year. And for me, it was like, you know, sign and answer from universe, because like I got the course from the best tarologist for free.
Yeah, wow.
Can you imagine? And I appreciate it. Many people think that free things are not appreciated. Believe me, for me, for people who know how to work hard and to own how it's not easy to make money, free things are very much appreciated. And I started to learn it, and in one moment I opened and they started talk with me. So I started understand them. Like, many years I didn't understand. I thought like, okay, 78 stupid pictures. How can they tell something? But then they started to talk in the way that, like when I ask money question, cards which describes money appears, when I ask about feelings, cards with feelings appear, and like when I started to make experiments with my friends, like, okay, don't tell me the story, I will tell you. And when I started to tell, okay, that person is like this person is like that, and this situation, and you're thinking, well, like this, and now you think like this, and the person like, yes, and also after that I didn't stop on one course. Then I went to other different courses and webinars and started to eat that all information, and I realized that actually there is no any magic in tarot. It's ancient philosophy of laws of life, and actually tarot is a basement of many modern psychology, and even Carl Jung, his typology of personalities is based on tarot.
Wow.
And like many philosophical and even religious and many things are really based on tarot. So it's just psychology. So if you know like different types of psychology and how people behave and act, it's easy to read. So it's no actually magic. So it's good or bad. Maybe I disappoint someone, but it's just really science of ancient knowledges and psychology and typology of personalities.
So now people come to you and say, well, please, I have a question about my life, my relationship, my business, whatever, and then you can help them with the tarot?
Yes, and we do it online because like most of my friends are spread in the world. And yes, and for me, I started doing it more for fun to see, like it was my child dream, I never thought that it would be like profession or something. So, but when I started to see that people, when they need, for example, to make a choice, they ask me, even in important issues. So then I realized, okay, so it's more important than I think. So, and I also try to combine it with Theta healing, because Theta healing, it's a part of psychology. It's like psychotherapy, but we do it during special meditation, because this meditation helps your brain not to analyze that much, and then we can go deeper to your consciousness and to see what is statements is there. So because like everything what we do in life, it actually depends on our thinking and our beliefs that we got with our parents or with our childhood or in different important moments. So, and Theta healing helps to find these statements and to delete them, let's say like that, or renovate, to put, to replace with a positive and helpful. So how I started to combine it, like tarot helps me to make like a test, like a diagnostics of situations. So it shows what is going on in person's life. And often I ask, like, what does block? Like, you can see, tarot shows you what stops you to the life of your dream, what stops you to get good relations, or what stops you to earn more money. Like, and then it's good to work with Theta healing. So that's why those people who ask simple tarot questions, I then move them, because like I tell, like, do you want it to be repeated in your life? Or maybe we will work with this and it will be better. So that is how I try to combine.
Perfect combination. Wow. Wow, amazing. But you have a Instagram profile, so if people see this now and are interested and maybe want to learn more about it or maybe need your help, they can contact you?
Yes, of course. And actually, this is one more of my dream, because a few years ago I was thinking to make English speaking Instagram auditory clients, because in Ukraine, psychology is still about, like not very much accepted. So people think that the best psychologist is your friend on the kitchen. But here in Europe, in other countries, psychology is normal part of the life. So, and my dream was to open the market and open audience and to be open to English-speaking world. But I always had doubts, like, oh, my English is not that good. Oh, I'm not that clever. Oh, like such a big competition, who needs me, and all these things.
Yeah, wow.
So, and now, because I was so close to death, I was so close to end of my life.
Yeah.
So now I'm not afraid anymore. So, and I also find out here that my English is enough, and my qualities is enough, and the world is more friendly than we think.
Yeah.
And that's why I made Instagram in English. Finally, after several years of dreaming about that, I made it. So, and of course, everyone can join, and I'm open. Give me notes how to improve it or make it better. I'm open. I'm ready. Just beginning, so I'm open to develop it in the way people are interested.
Wow, wow, wow. So it sounds like you're home with yourself, and you find yourself in this journey, and this journey just began. So.
Yes.
Do you have another dream? Would you say it would be your dream to go back to Kiev one day, or
Now I will cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest dream is
to
victory.
Go back home.
To come back home.
You will. But the good thing is you are connected, and the world is connected, and we are connected, heart connected, and online and everything. And you can do your theta healing and your tarot from wherever you are. So maybe this is also good for you to know.
I pray every day to the person who invented online, internet, and all these things. And also, I appreciate that during this my trip, from Ukraine to Ukraine, when I come back, brought so many good people to me, good friends, and also new qualities of me. I became really stronger, even though I had to die in some kind of way. But also I became so much stronger, and I really have what to give to people. And now I want to give, you know.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your inspiration.
Thank you for inviting.
Yes.
And thank you for being so nice that you open people to auditory, to other, and you show with your program that actually everyone can fulfill their dreams and live their own life. And life is not that long, so we need to be a little bit more active and more energetic, and everything will come true. Really, wow. It's now I can tell that.
That's so wonderful.
Thank you.
So I wish you all the best, and that you can go home very soon, but also come back, please, to Germany, to that we meet. And
of course, we will stay friends.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. So all the best for you. Thank you so much.